What's up, guys? Today we are going to be reviewing a product called InvestorLift. InvestorLift is an online marketplace for off-market deals, off-market wholesale deals. They are claiming to revolutionize the wholesaling industry by allowing wholesale deals to be available on this marketplace, and all the buyers from all over the country, from your state, from your city, are going to be able to view these deals. And so the idea is you're going to get a lot more visibility on your wholesale deals, and it's going to be a lot easier to sell those deals. And so dispositions is really their main focus. So I've been using InvestorLift now for about 6 months, and I just wanted to go ahead and put together this video. I also wrote a blog post on my blog, crushingREI.com, with just some good information in there about my experience using the product. As you know, anytime I do review a product, I try to be as honest and sincere as possible. And so I will, at the end, tell you whether or not I recommend InvestorLift. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to kind of give you an overview of the platform and kind of tell you how it's been working for me and some of the features and benefits and that sort of thing. So this is the dashboard. So when you log in, you're going to see you've got a bunch of different options here on the left, and then the dashboard will tell you about your deals, offers, total assignment fees, average assignment fees. So just some metrics that you can view at a kind of a quick glance here. So there's a few different modes that we'll talk more about. So if you sign up for kind of the base InvestorLift plan, it's called the InvestorLift Pro plan, and that will from there you can upload your buyers list and use your existing buyers list within the platform, so you can blast out your deals, you can send text messages, and then however, your deals will still be posted on the marketplace, so you will still get visibility when you have a deal posted from other buyers, so other buyers can still view that deal and request the address and make an offer. So the God mode is available on the InvestorLift Pro mode, and so basically the way God mode works, and this is probably the best feature, I would say, of Pro mode. So let's say that you have a deal that you're uploading and you want to kind of see what kind of buyer activity is going on in the area. So with God mode, you can do that. So you can go ahead and type in an address here. This is the property that we're actually working on now. So update results. So what it's going to do, it's going to show you the property that we just typed in here. It's that green box with a white house in it. And then you see all these gray boxes surrounding that. So those are going to be other flips that were recently completed nearby. And so you can adjust the map. So if you want to, kind of increase the radius, or if you really want to kind of zero in. So like if I say, I want to click on this one here, it shows me the address, it shows me the sale price, and I can scroll down and it's going to give me more information here. Again, address, it's going to tell me who, this is key. It's going to tell me who the buyer was. So in this case, it's an LLC. And then most of the time it's going to tell you the person's name. So the registered agent of that LLC. It's not going to give you the verified phone number or the verified email address of these people. I have noticed that it will occasionally, and I'm not really sure why. It could be, obviously, if you're on your buyers list already, then it's going to tell you that information. But so really, what you would need to do from here is you would skip trace. So you can actually skip trace right in InvestorLift. So you can actually click this button here. It's going to tell you what the cost is. Go ahead and skip trace, and there you go. You got a bunch of phone numbers that now you can call, and so. Really, the benefit here is if you want to build out a massive buyers list without paying the higher price tag of an increased plan in InvestorLift, I mean, you can do this yourself if you have time and go through and call these numbers or text these numbers, and hopefully you get a hold of the registered agent of the LLC, and tell them about your deal. Say, hey, look, I've got a deal that we're working on. This is the property address. I noticed you just flipped a house, a couple blocks away. Wanted to see if you're interested in our deal, right? And so you could hire a VA to do this work. But this is one of the big benefits, I think, of InvestorLift is just having the data, right? So you could do this other ways, right? You could go to Zillow and try to find, okay, well, what properties nearby had sold. You could, if you're a realtor, you have a license, you could go on the MLS and do the same thing. But InvestorLift takes all that data and they put it all in the platform, and they know it's a flip, right? Because they track things like, okay, well, they bought it for this price, they held it for 6 months, or they held it for a year, and then they sold it for a much higher price. And they also know it's a cash purchase too. So basically what they're doing is they're simplifying the process for you, and they're showing you all the flips that are going on in your area. So this is a pretty cool feature. This is called God Mode. And so let's move on to property. So it's really easy to add a property in InvestorLift. You basically click this button, create new property. You're going to go ahead and put a title in the title. This is going to be when you send out like an email blast. This is what the subject line is going to be. InvestorLift highly recommends using emojis in their title, in their subject line, which is interesting because I'm kind of anti-emojis, but I guess they have some research that has proven you get higher open rates by using titles. And then you go ahead and type in your description here, property information, this is a good place to put your details of the property, mechanicals, are they in good working condition? What level of repair work does the property need? Is it going to be vacant at close? Things like that. And then you go through and you just fill out the information with the address, number of bedrooms, baths, square footage. A lot of the info will actually show up here in these fields that you fill out. Parking, earnest money you can put down, and then you would also put the price here, ARV. You can put this estimate if you'd like. And then you go out to create property, and then the next screen you can actually go and you can upload photos, you can upload videos, you can upload Matterports, which is kind of like a 3D, kind of a new thing where you can kind of see the house and go through it on your own. It's like a 3D image of the house. And so, like I said, very easy to upload a new property into InvestorLift. Usually, I'd say the part that takes the longest is probably just the photos, because you do have to upload the photos kind of separately. A lot of times we use iCloud links, and I have an assistant who does my iCloud links and edits the photos. But it really doesn't take too long, and it's relatively easy. So once you go live and you mark your property as available in InvestorLift, then what you can do is you can actually send notifications. So I'm going to go into, let's just go into one of my properties here. This one I actually need to mark as pending because we sold it, or it's pending. But here is where you would go in, and if you want to send notifications, at the top here, you can click on send notifications, and this will allow you to click, new deal or price reduction, send emails or send MMS. MMS is, text messages. You click on this button here. You can test it if you want as well. And then here is where you would send your, gather your data. So you can pick geotags, and they actually require you to pick geotags. So, here I would go United States, Michigan, and our county. And then it will tell you, okay, I got 112 emails that I'm sending out. So my buyers list is actually a lot bigger than this. InvestorLift did something recently called the sunset policy, where they removed a ton of inactive buyers. The idea was that they were trying to get rid of a lot of bots. People were, these bots were being created and going on deals and trying to request information. And so that was the idea, but I think it kind of backfired, and they ended up removing a lot of vetted buyers. And so I think they're working through that. So they can bring some of those buyers back, which is a good thing. But here's where you would just click this button, send a new deal notification, and this would get blasted out to my entire buyers list that I've already uploaded. Now, InvestorLift does have higher plans. So I'm actually in a trial mode of Lieutenant the lieutenant mode, which is basically gives you access to the top 25% of all the buyers in InvestorLift, which may not seem like much, but 93% of all deals completed on InvestorLift are done by the top 25% of buyers. So it actually makes sense to have it. It's very comparable to the highest level, which is Cartel Boss Mode, which obviously you would get access to 100% of all the buyers on InvestorLift. And when I say access, I mean verified email addresses, verified phone numbers, so you can, directly contact all these buyers, and they can, that way they can, so not only can you contact them, but then you can blast out your deal to them. So watch what happens when I click this button, I move it, I turn on cartel mode. So this is just kind of an on off. This actually works if you have lieutenant mode as well. So what happens, look at my emails, it went up to 1345. So it went through the system and it basically added all the buyers who are signed up to receive deals in my county, my state. And so once you click those geotags, it's going to filter out the top. Again, this is the top 25. So if I had cartel mode, this number, who knows, this might be, 5, 6, 7,000 buyers that would see deals in these areas. But again, top 25%. 1345. So it definitely increased the amount of emails that I can send to these buyers. There's been some deals too, and again, it depends on the county where it's located, but I've seen as high as 4,000 or 5,000 in lieutenant mode. So if you're in a much larger market, a larger city, I would imagine those numbers are going to be substantially higher just because you have so many more active buyers, and so I think that's where it can really benefit you. So that's going to be how you send out deal notifications. Same thing with a text message. So you can go to send MMS and then go to new deal and then send notifications. And it's gonna, with texting, you do have to pay for it. It's 12 cents to send a text. So keep that in mind. But I think texting is very effective. So again, that's how you add a property. Again, you can when you first sign up, you can upload your buyers list. Offers, people will go in here and they can make offers on your property. They can also do like a buy it now. So really kind of think eBay. You can set a starting price or an asking price, but then you can also do like a buy it now. And so you have a deal that's a hot deal. You might get multiple bids on it. But if somebody just wants to buy it now, maybe you can set that price 10 or 15,000 higher than what the starting bid is, if you just are willing to sell it for that price now. So that's a nice feature. You can add your title company into InvestorLift and select the title company that you're going to use. So lots of cool features. Again, I think so. At the end of the day, it's like, do I recommend this product or not? So. And it's kind of I kind of have like two answers. I would say yes and no. So for me, I'm in a smaller market. I am in West Michigan here, and for me, I'll be honest. I've only sold a couple deals on InvestorLift after using it for 6 months. I have a lot of very solid buyer connections in my market. I probably know almost every buyer that's really doing volume in my market. There might be some smaller buyers that I'm not aware of, and obviously new investors are getting into the flip game all the time. And so I just don't think there's enough activity in my market for this to really benefit me. Now, with lieutenant mode, I do think I'm seeing, since I've started the trial period about a week ago, I do see a lot more activity, people viewing my deals. I've even had some offers. And so I think that this is going to definitely help. Now, the cost of lieutenant mode is $36,000 a year. The cost of pro, the base plan, is, I think it's about $5,700 a year. InvestorLift does not allow you to pay by month, so you have to pay your annual fee all up front. And then Cartel Boss Mode, I forget the price of that, but I want to say, I know it's higher than $36,000 because that's lieutenant mode. That's for the top wholesalers across the country that are doing like 250,000 plus a year. You also get access to a mastermind. I think there's only 50 seats for Cartel Boss Mode. So if you're in a smaller market, I would kind of wait until you grow your business and maybe get into some larger markets first before investing in InvestorLift. I just think that you know, well, I'll say this: if you're already doing pretty good volume and you want to, but you don't think you know all the buyers or don't think you have all the buyer relationships, then I would say yes. I think it is worth the cost. I just think just understand that there's not quite as much activity in smaller markets yet. And I say yet because I think InvestorLift is definitely at the forefront of this, and this is going to blow up. And I think at some point, I think 90% of all wholesale deals are going to end up happening or taking place on a platform like InvestorLift or something similar. So I do think that this product, this is the future of wholesaling. So that's why I got into it. If you're in a larger market and you can afford it and you want to be serious about building a wholesaling business, then I think this is a no-brainer. I think this is an absolute no-brainer because you've already got so many buyers in these larger markets. And when I say larger market, I mean, Chicago, Miami, Houston, Los Angeles, New York, just large cities, right? I would say the top, maybe 40 or 50 US cities across the country. If you're in any of those markets, then absolutely. If you are serious about building a wholesaling business, then this is an excellent product. And I highly recommend it. If you're in a smaller market, I would be a little bit more hesitant. I really think it depends on the size of your buyers list because mine was already pretty established at the time, so it hasn't really done a whole lot for me. I think with me, it's like I love the concept. I love the idea. I do think this is going to be the future, and so it definitely made sense for me. And I have plans of going into some other markets in the very near future here. And so I think just for me, it made sense. That's why I did it. But I mean, it's the opportunity to add to your buyers list and go into God mode and hire a VA to scrub those lists and validate the numbers and add more buyers to your list. I think it's definitely worth it to do that as well if you don't think you have quite the established buyers list as maybe some of the competition. The ARimus Mode, I didn't really go into that. I want to touch base on that quickly here. So if you're in a property, this is actually kind of a newer feature, but I'm going to go ahead and try to show you real fast. You click on ARimus Mode, and this is really a huge game changer. So basically, it's kind of similar to God Mode, but the difference is let me show you here, zoom in. So this is showing neighbor buyers, right? So it's showing my buyers. So like it's showing me who has looked at my deal, and it's giving me an action score. So it's actually telling me how many, if they view the property, the photos, did they view the property, photos, and then did they request the address? So it's going to rate all of these buyers, and it's going to give them an action score on how much time they spent viewing the deal. And then if I go into neighbor buyers, this is awesome because it's actually going to show you how much, it's going to give you an action score for all the neighbor buyers. And again, same thing, like they're going to be viewing all these other deals nearby, and it's going to give you an action score for them. So what you can do is you can use this information and you can reach out directly to these buyers. You can call them, you can text them. And if they're already on your list, you're going to have their contact info. Again, if you don't have lieutenant mode, you're not going to have access to their contact info. But at least you know what buyers to skip trace or to target because they've been viewing your deal, right? And they've been looking at your pictures. So, and I used to think, well, is it creepy to reach out to somebody like right after they viewed your deal? The answer I would say is I thought it was, but then I remembered that InvestorLift notifies you every time somebody requests an address. And so, hey, it's like I just got a notification that you requested the address. I just wanted to follow up, and see if you had any questions about the deal, see if we can set up an appointment to get you to see the house. So I think that's an easy way to kind of transition into it when you reach out to somebody that's looked at your deal. So Anyway, I think that's it. I just wanted to kind of put together a video here to go through InvestorLift and kind of give you my recommendations. So I do recommend this product. I think it's gonna help a lot of wholesalers out there to kind of take it to that next level. But just keep in mind, if you're in a smaller market, I wouldn't expect to see a lot of results right away just because of the limited activity in some of these smaller markets. But I think that the more people find out about this product, the more buyers are going to be looking for deals on here, and I definitely think this is the future of wholesaling. All right, well, cheers, and hope this video was helpful, and we'll catch you on the next one.